Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including the end of HBO Max. Paramount sure hopes so. We'll tell you what's happening there. Also, we got a big update on the fight between Disney and YouTube TV. Hopefully nothing crazy happens, like a deal's reached or something else between the time I'm recording this and publish it, but we'll tell you what's happening at the time of this. Also, of this recording. Also, Fubo reported some good numbers. They added subscribers after losing some earlier this year, but they issued some warnings for the future. We'll tell you about these stories and a whole lot more coming up in a quick second. First though, hey, I am sick. I feel actually a lot better. Had a bad cold over the weekend. Feeling better, but my voice today doesn't. So I apologize. I got some water just sitting right here. Apologize. I'm going to power through this though. Make sure I always get these videos up. But if you want to learn more about these stories, check out the show notes and in the first pinned comment. You can find a link to each story I talk about there, so you can read them for yourself, come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. If you like what we do here, please hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, or hit that thumbs up. It also lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. With that said, let's dive into it. Excuse me, the end of HBO Max with this. Well, that's what Paramount hopes. Now, according to a report out here from Bloomberg, Paramount's already making some preliminary plans for what they would do with Warner Brothers Discovery if their takeover bid is successful, including getting rid of HBO Max and merging it into Paramount Plus. Now with this, they would eliminate the HBO Max as a standalone brand and put it under the Paramount Plus. It sounds like they don't intend to change the Paramount Plus name, though plans like this change. These are preliminary ones. With this though, they say they hope to create a much more successful streaming service by utilizing the content from Warner Bros. Discovery along with the content from Paramount Skydance to create a massive streaming service. Now, many companies are looking at the same thing. Comcast is reportedly interested in doing the same thing, but merging it with Peacock. Netflix is also reportedly exploring a potential deal to get things like HBO Max and merge it with Netflix. We'll see how this all plays out. What we do know here is Warner Bros. Discovery is up for sale, and I think it's more likely than not that it will actually sell. And if it sells, I think most of the companies intend to merge it with another streaming player. The question is, which one would last? Would Peacock name survive, or would HBO Max survive? I think if it was Comcast, they'll probably go with the HBO Max. If it's Paramount, they'll probably go with Paramount Plus. If it is Netflix, they're going to stick with Netflix. We'll wait and see how this all plays out. There's other competitors looking, including Amazon, for it also. Let's keep moving along. A lot happening as Disney's YouTube TV fight continues. At the time of this recording, has resulted in all YouTube TV content, or all Disney content being removed from YouTube TV. Now, there's shots going back and forth. It makes me feel at the time of this recording a deal is far from being reached. These things have a way of suddenly working their way out, though. It's not unusual for two sides to be very far apart at the start of a day to come to a deal by the end of the day with it. But YouTube TV executives have said Disney has been unnecessarily aggressive, and based on some of the stuff I'm about to tell you, I believe it's true. But according to reports out there, that they've been unnecessarily aggressive with Google in their negotiations, trying to push Google around. This comes as Disney on Monday announced that they asked YouTube TV to restore ABC ahead of today's election on November 4th. With this, we'll see. I think a lot of people are looking at that saying there's a lot of other ways to cover the elections, even local elections with other local stations and national news stations and the like. But Disney's asking for it for the public good. I would be surprised if that happens right now. This comes as Disney has removed its movies from the Google TV stores, like Google Play, along with the YouTube stores. If you want to buy like Star Wars or Marvel movies, you're going to have a hard time finding them. Disney has pulled them. Now, they have not pulled their videos from YouTube. Something I wondered if they did at the time of this recording. All those Disney Junior episodes and different content that they put up legally for free on YouTube is still there. We'll wait and see. This kind of stuff happens when usually you're not close to a deal. so I'll be surprised if by the time I record this late on Monday, if by Tuesday morning if a deal has been reached, but who knows? Make sure to check out over at corecarsnews.com. A deal is going to be reached here. Just the question is, how long is it going to take? I think the Spectrum deal was quite some time, but they reached a deal after several days. Last time YouTube TV and Disney had a fight, it was about 24 hours. This time, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like they're very close to a deal. Things like pulling your movies from their stores is not something you do when you're close to a deal. That's something that you're trying to do to put even more pressure on Google. We'll wait and see how this plays out. Get your predictions in the comment. Who do you think ultimately comes out on top? Who's going to get the better deal? YouTube or Disney? YouTube wants things like the same price that Comcast and Spectrum pay. They want to pay that. They also want permission to put Disney-owned channels like ESPN into a new, smaller, cheaper sports bundle, similar to what Fubo and DirecTV has done recently. We'll see if that plays out. All right, today in TV history, 47 years ago this week, the classic Different Strokes show first premiered, launching a bunch of catchy phrases and a whole host of careers in television. 47 years ago this week, Different Strokes first premiered. All right, let's keep going. See how long my voice holds out. All right, Fubo reported its earnings on Monday and had some good numbers in it, including they added 275,000 new TV subscribers in North America alone. This comes as Comcast and Spectrum both reported losing subscribers during the same period. Now, there is a red flag here. They still did lose money. They lost over $18.9 million. Now, some good news is Disney is giving them a line of credit next year and a loan to help them continue to operate. But the CEO there put out little warnings in their earnings call, I'm paraphrasing this, but that the increased competition and pricing and other things could result in some upcoming churn. Churn is when people cancel their subscriptions. Now, these are the kind of things that you have to say, so I won't read too much into that, but it is something to keep an eye on, as you know, there's a big red flag there. Now, in total, between Hulu and Fubo, there's 6 million. And with that, about 1.631 million of that is Fubo. Fubo is a very small number of subscribers compared to Hulu Plus Live and other services. YouTube TV, depending on who you ask, is somewhere between 8 and 10 million, to give you an idea, compared to Fubo's 1.631 million. It'll be interesting to see how they go forward and do this. How exactly will Fubo integrate Hulu into the lineup? What changes will come with it? I know a lot of people have asked, does this mean that Warner Brothers Discovery content will come there? I'll be interested to see if that content remains on Hulu after their contract ends. For some reason, Warner Brothers Discovery and Fubo have not had a good relationship and have not returned the Warner Brothers Discovery channels to Fubo. They've been gone for a very long time. A little warning there for YouTube TV, though I think YouTube TV gets a deal done with it. Is it possible it returns? Yes. But it's also possible Hulu loses them. We'll have to watch this very closely. I'm very, very interested to see what Fubo does now that Disney, this joint venture where Fubo owns 30% and Disney owns 70% of a newly created entity. It'll be very interesting to see what that new entity does with it. How much effort is Disney going to put behind this or not? We'll wait and see. All right, let's keep moving along. Speaking of Disney, Disney's been uploading whole seasons of some of their classic older shows to YouTube, including the original first season of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, now streaming for free on YouTube as a way to try to get people addicted to it, get them to subscribe to things like Disney Plus. We have a link in the show notes, but if you have kids and you've been looking for something for them to watch, check it out. Link in the show notes. The entire first season of the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse animated show is now streaming on YouTube. Also, a lot of new stuff launches. We're launching into November. By the way, happy November. Are you straying to Christmas or are you saving some time for Thanksgiving to celebrate? Let me know. But we have full breakdowns of everything coming to like Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, ESPN, and more. Check out the show notes for a full breakdown of everything added. And lastly, AT&T is suing an industry watchdog. The Better Business Bureau's National Programming's Advertising Division, NAD, has said their claims about T-Mobile and recent ads are untrue and asked them to remove them. AT&T decided to say that their claims were accurate and are suing the Better Business Bureau's national programs. Now, the BBB national programs is different than the public's BBB with that. They're two separate organizations, loosely affiliated, used to be affiliated, something like that. But they have this advertising board where companies can make complaints about other companies' advertising, and they make a ruling, and then in a non-binding, you're not forced to do this, but they'll come out and say, hey, this company or that company should change their advertising because they feel it was less than truthful. And they have asked AT&T to stop using particular claims related to T-Mobile. And AT&T says no, not only no, but we're going to sue once again. I apologize, my voice is definitely struggling. So we'll keep an eye on this. It's the first major pushback against this board I've seen in quite some time related to this. Be interesting to see how this plays out in court. Will they sell beforehand? Will they end up in trial? We'll be watching it closely. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I'm cutting it a little short today as my voice hangs in there. But I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. Until then, take care, be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.